everybody, and welcome back to another episode of everyone's favorite show on a Wednesday morning. What is that, Brandon?
That's pitch practice. The
The
show.
show. All right. All right. My name is Mark. I'm the guy behind the mental marketer and the private Facebook group Funnel Building 101. We're helping business owners and entrepreneurs just like you utilize the power of sales funnels. And we got some new models to talk about today, Brandon. We got some new models today, but we're helping you grow your business and grow your social following. What's up, Brandon? How are you doing this morning?
I am finally back to normal after a week. I wouldn't call it a week of hell, but it was definitely an intense week. Uh, with Funnel Hacking Live 4 days, and I spent, 4 days prior to that, boondocking across the East Coast. It was definitely taxing.
Yeah. How about that? So you had more than just the 4-day event. Did you
Yeah,
also
so
do camp?
I decided to make an adventure of it. I wanted to do a little bit of camping. It's the reason I bought the Bronco, was to kind of go off the beaten path a little bit. So I spent some time down in Kentucky and Tennessee before I made my way down to Florida. Stayed there a day, and then saw family, and then it was off to the event. I mean, the crazy part was, like, by Sunday, that's when I really hit the wall, in the sense that
Oh,
that was my
really?
worst night of sleep. And I was just playing catch up from there. And as you know, Funnel Hacking Live, you're done at 8, 10 o'clock every night, plus you're networking. So you're not getting to bed till midnight every night, and then waking up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to do it all over again. So it was definitely a challenge, and it took about a week to recover after that.
I tell you, I was this funnel hacking live was a little bit different. I'm especially considering that this is your third year, right?
Yeah, third year for me. I think first one was 2021 was the first one I went to, completely green. I mean, I've been through all of the virtual stuff, the One Funnel Away challenges, the Two Comma Club live
Mm-hmm.
evergreen webinar that he runs, and then decided to go to the live event to see what it was about. And I was impressed with the first time that I went, in the sense it wasn't a giant pitch fest the entire time. I liked, and now I understand the process of the sale at the live event, on how he does it, as opposed to Cardone and his growth conference, to
Mm-hmm.
where, growth conference, you're getting sold the first day. Like, there's no warm up to it. You're there, you'll see, a celebrity speaker interview deal, and then you're getting pitched something the first day. To whereas Russell's deal, his is a little bit more methodical in actually moving you through the value ladder for where you're already at. In the sense, you've already bought the books, you may have already done, the 5-day challenge, you're already in the continuity for the software. Now it's time to move you up to the coaching, and then into, the mastermind groups. So it's definitely an interesting approach that Russell has over Cardone with his live event.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this time is the first time that I've kind of stayed on site, and that made a huge difference for me as far as the networking was concerned. Um, the other 2 years, I had gotten a little timeshare. I was real close. So if you're out there watching and you have not gone to Funnel Hacking Live before, and you're considering going to Funnel Hacking Live, just a little bit of advice here, because I've stayed off site. Even a 6-minute Uber ride, I found that this time staying closer. I was there earlier and I was socializing a little bit later and made some really, really, really good connections this time around. And they weren't just the connections that you make inside of the inside of the business settings, but just sitting right next to a few Two Comma Club award winners, able to pick their brains and ask some questions on where I feel that I'm stuck. And yeah, had some really great conversations. What about, so that was just a difference for me in this time, because I know you always talk about you made that mistake the first time by not staying at the host hotel, right?
Yeah. So I did the actual opposite this year.
Uh-huh.
I stayed offsite to save a couple bucks, which worked out because I saved a bunch.
Yeah.
But the deal with staying on site is you do have better access to the people. You know, you're not limited by the time that it takes to get to and from the event center. You know, when you're tired, you really don't want to be driving anywhere anyway. And even with an Uber, it's still exhausting to ride somebody else's car and do all that kind of stuff. So I did the opposite this year. I stayed, it was about a 5 or 10 minute drive away from the event, but I don't think it hindered me as much. I mean, because I was still there early and I still stayed late, but again, it's just that extra 5 or 10 minutes, you know, it feels like a lot. It's just a lot extra after, you know, a long day of already sitting there and getting your, you know, mind melted with all the new ideas. So,
mind melted, like.
yeah. Yep. If I were to again do it again, I probably will stay on site. Definitely staying on site at the next one because you know, it's in Vegas the next time it's live. So definitely be staying on site there. But yeah, stay on site at any conference you go to, stay on site and shop around for the rooms. I mean, you can still shop the rooms. You don't always have to do the room block. In fact, I heard passively, I don't know if it was one of the groups, that people were actually saving more money going outside of the room block than what was being charged in the room block. So that's kind of crazy. Usually it's the other way around.
Right. And that was in Florida. You heard this.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. That's another announcement, man. That's another announcement. There is not a live Funnel Hacking Live scheduled for next year. And so they are skipping a year and calling it 9.5. Funnel Hacking Live 9.5 is going to be a virtual event. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, that's going to be another 2 years before we meet. But it's not so. What happened, Brandon? What's gonna happen?
So I guess they're waiting, what is it, 12 and 6, 18 months for the next live event to get it back on track, because it's usually a first quarter event. I guess traditionally, I mean, I haven't known it to be, just because the first one that I had was in September. In fact, I liked it in September because it's near my birthday and made an excuse for me to go on vacation during my birthday month, right? So, yeah, so they're doing the live event or the virtual event next September, the beginning of September, and then was it 4 months or 6 months later, they're doing in February, maybe 5 months later, they're doing the live event in Vegas at the Caesars, one of the Caesar hotels and casinos. I don't know which one, but that's where it's going to be. And it was a stupid deal to buy your tickets, as always, advance. It was like less than $800 to buy your ticket for both events, or you could have paid more and paid the $997 to just do the live event next year, or was it like $495 or $497 just do the virtual event next year? So, you know, if you were there or were in Russell's list and you got the notification to buy your tickets immediately after Funnel Hacking Live, you know, it's always a heck of a deal. Now he's obviously upped the prices if you missed out on that early bird special. So I would say commit, figure it out later, because you can always call and get your refund if you can't make it.
Yeah, and that's just about the event. But yeah, so it would be a little bit longer than a year before we're back at that event again. It's always a good kind of, just a marker, a place to kind of go around the earth and come back and meet with other crazy, crazy people. How crazy are the people there at Funnel Hacking Live?
They can get pretty nuts. I ran into a couple. I mean, there were people dressed as Thing 1 and Thing 2 running around the halls this year. So that was probably the craziest people that I've seen. That definitely different walks of life. I mean, that you're going to run into there. It's a pretty crazy guy that showed up on Saturday at the last session.
Oh,
that, kind of freaked a bunch of people out, but that situation was taken care of. Yeah, I mean, all walks of life. In fact, I met somebody that is literally my neighbor. He lives, a couple towns away from me. In fact, we just had a meeting this past Sunday to kind of get his mind right on the things that he's looking to do, and hopefully kind of connect with, because he's in the niche that, I'm trying to serve, and he's trying to do something as well and help them out. Within ClickFunnels, and I'm looking to help them outside of that. So hopefully there can be a synergistic partnership there when it comes to working together.
Yeah, nice. In a nutshell, describe the 4 days at the event. It good, bad, and ugly. Good, bad, and ugly. Let's call this the Funnel Hacking Live, the good, the bad, and the ugly episode.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's see.
I'll start with
all right, you go first.
I'll start with the good. All right. So the good part is seeing everybody. I really liked how we had it set up this time. We kind of all connected with you were with the group. We were staying close together. I got some really, of course, the good is always the books that you leave there with, the extra copies of books that you get, some really great takeaways, learning this linchpin strategy. And it's interesting because it's crazy because I still learn new things. It's like, wow. We had a couple guys go up there and talk about short form content this time. I really enjoyed those presentations, and I enjoyed seeing a lot. I enjoyed Eric Thomas's presentation. He was powerful for me. And one of the things that I was really wanting to do is go there and find somebody, a couple partners that we've been working with since Funnel Hacking Live. Excuse me. That's the good. Yeah, lots of good. That's just a brief sample of what of the good. I think the bad for me was I didn't think the rollout and the information on ClickFunnels 2.0 was I was disappointed a little bit, Brandon, to be honest. I'm still waiting for a few features to open up, and I thought they got up there and they were just blowing hot air, making reasons, talking about, excuse me, talking about, we've written 400 lines of code, but that's great. What does that really mean for us? And ClickFunnels is a software company, right? It's a software company. You would think that the focus would be around the software. I wonder if that focus has gone elsewhere. Those are my thoughts, especially with Russell going on and really expanding to a different company. We saw how he's not thinking about, but he's planning to grow a completely separate company. He's already got ClickFunnels, magnetic marketing, and now Secrets of Success. I do like the secrets of success, though. I really like the idea and the premise behind it, because it is a program that I can 1000% get behind, with Napoleon Hill and the Think and Grow Rich. But I think, but Russell has always dipped into a lot of other businesses, from Voomly, Zoomly, supplements, Zuma juice, bone broth. He's always pitching stuff to us, right? And then and then he throws these little bonuses into our pack there at Funnel Hacking Live. And that was the ugly, Brandon. Where's our backpack this year?
I know. No backpack this year. I was disappointed. I was hoping to get another one. I have two. Can't find the one. But yeah, I got two floating around, and I was looking forward to a third one because they gave so much stuff out that you need, a backpack to haul it around.
Where was the swag this year? And I'm gonna say it, Brandon. It looks like they went cheap.
They gotta save money for Vegas for number 10. Yeah, I mean, even you can even tell in the bands. You can even tell in the bands that we got that they kind of skimped and scraped where they could to save as much money as they could. But you got to think the things that they gave out too were quite pricey. I mean, we got a big notebook that's glossy printed. Those aren't cheap. Those aren't cheap to give out.
Yeah, that linchpin.
Yeah, the linchpin notebook. Those weren't cheap to produce. So they got to cut somewhere to give somewhere else. I get that. To be honest though, I came away with a ton of crap. Like I left with a whole box of linchpin notebooks.
Plus, you do?
Yeah, I got a whole box of them.
And you got a whole box of 10X's easier?
I had 2 boxes of 10X's easier than 2X books that I'm slowly giving out. And then, I walked with a couple of the crate stuff, and I probably got a half dozen t-shirts and an extra funnel hacker hat. So, I mean, I did what I could to ask, for the extra stuff. What are they going to do with it? They're going to have to ship it all back, and it's just going to stay in storage. And I mean, what are they going to do with it really? So nothing.
That's the advantages of driving up there.
Yes.
At a Pogo.
I drove so I can drive it all back.
You've got to send me a couple of. You got to send me some of those. We got to have some giveaways. We should have some giveaways right here on the show. And you got to send me a copy of 100 Million Leads, Brandon.
What's that?
Huh?
Oh yeah, you didn't get your copies?
No, I didn't.
What are you doing, man? You missed out on the hat. You didn't spend the $100 to get a hat.
I missed the live. I missed it. I missed it that weekend, and I kind of went back but I still haven't gone through the whole. I haven't gone through his funnel. Yeah, I haven't gone through his funnel. So yeah, I want a copy of it though. I was out at the pool before Funnel Hacking Live. I think it was the Tuesday before, when we were at the hotel pool, and there's someone right there on their pool lounge reading the 100 million offers. So cool being around a whole hotel full of nothing but crazy marketers, right?
Yes, definitely a good book. Go buy it. But yeah, I got an extra copy. So just send me the address.
Send me the address. Yes.
Send me the address.
Yes.
So we got that. So my good, bad, and ugly. Good, definitely seeing the people again and reconnecting with people you've connected with from year 1 and year 2 and seeing them grow. The bad, I don't think the speaker lineup was as good as it possibly could have been. I mean, there were some good punchy moments. I just think it felt rushed, and they didn't go through. Like, I wish they would have gone through the linchpin system and actually worked with the notebook during the event. Like saying, all right, we're going to talk about this. Turn to page XYZ in your notebook. Take notes. And I don't even think they went through all the concepts in the notebook itself. Or maybe I just missed it.
Right.
I don't know,
Did
just because it was so much.
did you see how the notebook had each speaker in it though?
Yeah, I did. And so when they went up, I tried to find the speaker to try to get to the page. But again, if if a little bit better direction was given, I think it would have made my event better. So I don't know about anybody else. It would have just made my event better. That saying, hey, we're going to talk about this. Turn to page XYZ in your notebook and rock and roll. Because I mean, it's a similar thing he did with Two Comma Club Live. Is like you got the big PDF download
Mhm.
that you could print out if you really want to print out, which I did. And then he would start off and say, all right, we're in page XYZ of your notebook, and then here's the speaker. So if he would have done that, I think it would have been better.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was perfect for note taking because you didn't even have to have like your regular spiral notebook. You could have that, and it almost had some of the things that the major points that the speaker was
yeah,
making. It had it right there, and that's a great workbook, by the way.
it is. So when they drop the replays, then I'll go back through and get a fresh one that I got and take the notes.
Mhm.
And then so the ugly. What do I say for the ugly? I mean, the dude on the last day, that was a pretty ugly deal,
Mhm.
where he kind of interrupted Garrett's wife. And to be honest, Garrett's whole deal, I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like his session, his second session. First session was okay, but his second session for the closeout, like that was, boohooing into my Benjamins just did not sit with me at all. You, you, you know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Elaborate. Elaborate.
It was like, oh, just his whole story. I was such a crappy person. I abandoned my first son. My son didn't love me, and his son comes on stage and all that kind of stuff as they start doing B-roll footage of their multi-million-dollar houses on the
On the beach.
beach, and they're all dressed in white, trying to be all pure and sanctified. And yeah, that shtick just doesn't sit well with me. Not a fan of the holier than thou type um, persona, I guess. But God bless him for his faith and what he's doing, and if he feels he's doing it, the Lord's work. But that whole shtick just does not do anything for me or move the needle or nothing. There's no connection there at all. You know.
So Garrett's right. Meg, I think Garrett is probably, I don't know if it's either him or Dan Henry who's hated more, or he's loved by the people that love him, but the people that there's just a lot of people that just don't get him. I hear a lot of people saying that about Garrett J. White. Maybe it's the language that he uses, and some things like that. Before, I just want to throw a shout out to you out watching live. What's up? What's up? Show us some love in the comments. If you have something that you want to ask us, go ahead, pop it down, because we are actually live
We
today.
are we are live today.
Yes.
Um, yeah, his language deal, it doesn't bother me. When his kids were up there, swearing and things like that, it felt forced and not natural. So it's kind of like super cringe. And I get where Russell's coming from, that he doesn't like the foul language on stage, because it just, I think it just trashes the show. I think it brings the show down a level. If you slip a shit in there, fine, whatever. But you're dropping f bombs left and right. It just, I don't know. I think it just trashes the show. But yeah, so the first year I saw Garrett White, I think it was the first year. Um, he went on the whole Christian crusade deal where he came out all in white and was, had a choir behind him and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, who's this guy type deal? And then, he has a course in funnel flicks, and I started watching that. And his warrior book's great. Like
Mm.
the message and the deal in that course and the book is great, but this year, yeah, just no connection there. Boohooing into my billions or millions, and yeah, it's
Just
just
it's just hard for to relate when you sometimes, I guess, when you're at that level. I it was like he had one of his juniors on stage too. But I kind of liked them. You know who I'm talking about?
well,
The
his oldest son. Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for his son because it's a similar story. My dad didn't have anything to do with me growing up, and I kind of felt for him there. But after that, it was just okay, great type deal. Like nothing really resonated after that.
I was thinking about Satima Gali. Satima Gali, two clap.
Yeah, boom. The that was an interesting deal. Was kind of surprised that he moved into coaching women. Wouldn't have expected that. I figured he would have went the route of, he was an NFL player and lost everything, so now he's helping other NFL players, not lose anything and be more financially responsible for, for when they were playing, because that's a huge issue. You get 5 or 6 years in the NFL and you're out due to injury or just too beat up to go, and then what happens? Like, you don't have that $300,000-400,000 check every week coming in that you're
Mhm.
blowing on Mercedes and Escalades and that kind of stuff. Um, I figured he went that route. No, he went to go coach women and do the same things that he's doing with Garrett and coaching men, which was kind of interesting. So I actually had a chance to briefly chat with him in the hall, which is another, I'd say, good thing about FHL is like you get such close access to the
Mhm.
speakers because you never know who you're going to run into in the hallways.
Mhm.
And just said, yeah, loved your deal. Kind of hit me left field. I figured you would have gone after NFL people and to teach them financial literacy. Instead, you're coaching women, so it's awesome. And you're just doing what God told him to do.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
And
he
yeah,
also told the story about he got out of the NFL and then he went into real estate and he found some success in real estate until the dot-com bust. Oh, not the dot-com bust, but
yeah,
the housing bust. And then that's where he went from driving an Escalade to it's always some story, you
yeah.
know.
It's the same story, different person.
Yeah.
It's either going to be real estate or it's what's the other thing? I was broke with my last $1,000 in the bank account, sleeping on my friend's couch. I mean, it's the same story. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I've been in both. I wouldn't say both those situations. The one situation, yes, I've been down to $1,000 in the bank account before, and it was like, but I have yet to blow up. So I'm just waiting. I don't know how many times I got to get to $1,000 in my bank account for it turns around.
I'm waiting for my miraculous turnaround, right? Hey, look, my
Yeah.
bank account's negative.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
time for it's time for the heavens to drop down on me and zoom me up to
yeah,
$1 million, right?
my company sold, and the company I was working for sold, and I didn't get moved on to the next one. I was out of work for 2 months. Where's my deal? No, I say it with tongue in cheek, but there's only so many times you can hear the same story. But the thing that's kind of irritating is um it's always just the surface that's told, but they don't tell you the hard work and all that kind of stuff that goes into it. And you're only seeing the end result. It actually takes years, not months,
Mm-hmm.
for things to happen. So if you're not there yet, don't be upset. The time's coming. Just keep your head down and your nose clean and do the work.
Yeah, yeah. Just staying consistent. Staying consistent. That's what you get from us. even though, we had kind of missed track a couple weeks here.
Well, yeah. At Funnel Hacking Live, we had some technical difficulties. It just didn't work out. Screwed some things up. And then last week we were just so tired. Sorry, we apologize in advance. But I was sleeping. I was sleeping until 8 pretty much every day, and rolling out of bed and getting in front of the computer to work. By 8:30. So yeah, now that I've caught up, and it just took one nap. It took one nap in the middle of the afternoon that I probably should have just done earlier in the week, and it probably would have caught me up. But yeah, I didn't, and it came to bite me in the butt later in the week.
Yes, that's it. So it's all right. That's what they say. It's all right to rest. It's all right to rest as long as you just don't quit. And sometimes, hearing all these stories from these millionaires, although I learned that even though you make $1 million, it doesn't make you a millionaire.
No.
It does.
Most of that stuff is chewed up by fulfillment cost and ad cost. So you're either starting off in the hole, or you're just remaking back what you've spent. So it definitely takes the money to make the money. At that point in time, I learned that last year from one of my buddies that I'm kind of working with now. That
yeah,
the profit on the $1 million that he made wasn't very much.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't make you a millionaire. You've earned $1 million, which, yeah, it is. And but the thing that I love too is that you can be recognized for earning $1 million. I don't think there's ever been a time before that there was some type of recognition for making, reaching that type of milestone. I love that. Can you think of something else or some other recognitions that entrepreneurs get for earning? There's no entrepreneur awards.
Not really. I mean, unless you're, in the 30 under 30 type deal,
Okay.
all those Forbes lists that you have to apply for, but no one is like actively tracking you and watching what you do to then, give you the awards. Now, I think ever since Russell started giving that out, I don't know if he was the first to start giving the awards out, but there's a lot of programs out there that, give out awards, for making the money. I know the insurance world is big at that. For you sell $1 million in premium type deal. You'll get the watches, you'll get the little trophies and things like that.
The plaques, the robes, the jackets.
Yep, you get that in the insurance world. Was it the credit hero guy? He modeled his entire business after Russell's and ClickFunnels, so he gives out his credit hero plaques and awards. There's this one guy, I can't think. He runs a coaching deal.
I think I've seen one that actually looks like the 2 Comma Club award, but it has like some flames going through it. But it looks like a gold record. It's like a gold record. I need a gold record.
Yeah, man. I think I'm just gonna make my own. I'm gonna get a record, spray paint it, and just hang it up.
And
I use Taylor Swift's new album. I'll spray paint it gold and then hang it up.
Find a vinyl record. Yeah. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left, and we'll wrap it up. One thing I want to just mention that Russell announced out there at Funnel Hacking Live is the new company that he's building, and he's growing it to 100 million. And it's he's been really into just collecting old books. And not just really any old books, but the old books from those people who have been the pioneers of personal development and really thinking outside of the box and having that singular focus to be successful. And he's turned it into a company that he's growing called Secrets of Success. This program is, from what I can see so far, he hasn't released it just yet. It's scheduled to be released in probably a week or so.
The 19th.
The 19th, okay, and which is 8 days from now. Right now, he laid out his plan to make it 100 million. I think he's going to get there. If you haven't heard about it, there'll definitely be a link in the comments to go check it out. So if you were interested in actually becoming an affiliate for it, and their affiliate program that for this one is unique from all other referral programs that he has with the ClickFunnels and with magnetic marketing, because you know what that difference is, right, Brandon?
Yeah, it's a 2-tier affiliate program. So a lot of people are thinking it's MLM, but it's not. It's only 2 tier deep. MLM, I think it has to be at least 3 or more tiers deep. And your second tier can earn you 10% residual for life. So if you get that right person below you that knows how to promote, you'll be okay. But that's not to say that you shouldn't be promoting yourself, because you earn a nice 40% on anything purchased and with the reoccurring. So yeah, it's a good program for not having to fulfill anything. If you can just drive traffic, make money just driving traffic.
Yeah, and it's like it's like it in the way that right, you get that one person under you that's a superstar and they promote, then you've got the possibility to sit back and collect we toss that word around, passive income.
Mm-hmm.
We toss that word around, passive income, as if no effort, but you did put in some effort. And then I liked it. You know why I like this too, Brandon? Because it is really, I think it's the essence of really affiliate marketing too. Because when you can help the people that sign up under you, when you can help them be successful, it makes you successful. And that's what people like. When you can help others be successful, then using the program, you help others, empower them, help them make money, then you make money. That's a great combination. And with Secrets of Success, it's a program that most everyone could benefit from. I think a much wider audience can benefit from. And I say a wider audience than just the ClickFunnels community. I think it's my opinion, us entrepreneurs are mostly into personal development too. I think,
Mm-hmm.
do you find that it's, well, at least in the ClickFunnels community for sure, because growing a business, being a business owner, it's a lot about your mindset.
It is. In fact, even the agency that I'm partnered with right now and working for, that's on my daily checklist to do. So, if I'm done with all my other work, I need to be doing some type of personal development and recording it. So whether, I'm reading, listening to a podcast, or, watching a YouTube video on some type of leadership development, or, any other type of personal development, I got to record it. And that's part of my own personal KPIs and growth within the agency. So personal development is huge. And I think people don't see the value of it until they're like close to 30 and they're at that near midlife crisis, you know what I mean? To figure out
Mm.
what's wrong with me, why am I the way I am, and what do I need to do to kind of fix it. Because you're just, before then, when you're 18 to 29, you're just kind of going through life. You've been through college, you're partying, You graduate, the real world hits you, and you're thinking, what the heck did I miss? And
Mm,
so, by the time you hit the 30s and going into the 40s, you sit down, self-reflect a little bit, and these old dead people start speaking to you.
mm.
And even current old heads start speaking to you and saying, you know what, this is what you did wrong. This is what you need to do to fix it, moving forward, so you don't burn out and fail, so to speak. So
That's it.
it's my goal and mission to, and because I didn't have this growing up, is to get you know my kids into personal development as soon as they can understand the concept and read and get it. Think and Grow Rich, for my oldest, he should be able to grasp it now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe give him one more summer, and then that'll be his book report project that I'm gonna ask him nicely to do and reward him if he does it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting because I read Think and Grow Rich probably when I was about 20. I was probably about 30. I think 29, 30. That's when I read it the first time. One of the first, well, I won't say one of the first books that I read, because I read some novels in my teens. I read more novels in my teens than I do now. But
Yeah.
I was into murder. I was, well, not really murder, but I'll tell you, my favorite author was Dean Koontz.
Hmm.
Uh, you heard of Dean Koontz?
I'm familiar.
And yeah, it's Dean Koontz, Steven Spielberg. I love they're not, kind of like, I don't know what you call them. They were just creepy, scary books. Not so much ghosts, but just things that were just creepy. Yeah, but reading it, I remember specifically reading in Think and Grow Rich, almost from the first page, when he says that inside of this book is the secret to your solution, or something like that, right? It's the
Hmm.
key. No, it's the key to riches. And then it said, you're reading it right now. And he said, and you will see it when you are ready. And I put that in my mind, and I kept looking for it. And the book keeps telling you it's the secret, no, the like the treasure that you seek is in
Hmm.
this book. And when you are ready, it will appear. And I kept reading it, and I kept reading it, and I was like, where is it? Where is the secret? Where is it? Where is it? And he says that in the book, when you read it, it will, well, when you are ready, when the reader is ready, that's when the answer will appear. And
Hmm.
that, and I kept looking for the, I was like, it's in here somewhere. Where is it? I don't know. Do you remember that part of the book, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean that's all the first couple chapters kind of go into, and talking about all the people that read it and got it in the first paragraph or the first whatever, and it's like, okay, so it's a little bit frustrating to get through the first time, but just sit and absorb it and read the words. It'll come. Um, yeah, and again, it's just about it. Literally is just think about it, write it down, make a goal of it, and then achieve it. I mean, thinking is achieving.
Can I can
Um,
I tell you what I finally discovered, and I believe it's what he meant by that?
yeah.
My thing, well, after searching the book and him saying it's right, it's right here in front of you. You are reading it. You have already read it, and it's what I believe he meant, and what maybe he even said this of several times, is that thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Thoughts start off as a tiny embryo in your mind, and when nurtured, they can become reality. That was the biggest takeaway I got out of that book. and I proceeded to create thoughts in my mind and make these thoughts my little embryos. And I would nurture these thoughts in my mind, and I would start off by taking these thoughts and turn them into words. And from words, they would take a physical form as it down on a paper. Now, that thought that was in my head is no longer this, this imagination, this ethereal thing, but it has physical presence. It's here in the world. And from there, I took it and I started to put it and to make it into physical form. That was my mind blowing takeaway from Think and Grow Rich. If you have not read that book, it is one of the most powerful books you'll ever read in your life. That's what I have to say. But that's what I took from it. That thoughts.
It's definitely yeah. I mean, thoughts are huge because nothing happens without that initial thought. I mean, that's the genesis of everything. Is that initial thought, and then figuring out the additional thoughts that are needed to make the original thought work.
Yeah.
So it's all about thinking, using the mind, and growing rich. Because I mean, even in the 4 levels of value that Myron Golden talks about, thought is at the precipice, the top, and those are the richest people up there that are using their minds to come up with the ideas and then getting other people to do. And the implementers at the bottom are the ones doing the things that somebody else thought of doing.
Yeah.
So you're not making as much money as an implementer.
That's it. Yeah. Thoughts are things. So if thoughts are things, then if you want to be rich, then you need to think rich thoughts and stop thinking poor thoughts, because you can think into your life poverty, or you can think into your life, because they're things. Thoughts are not just thoughts. I think we have thousands of thoughts, probably even millions of thoughts that go through our head every day, but sometimes I don't think we monitor these thoughts, and these poor thoughts are actually more, they're actually things. And if we want to be rich, then we must think rich thoughts. That's a message for today. All right.
Good one. It's a good one.
We've gone over a little bit. I know we've got to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in to this live stream. We saw you on the live. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. We see you. Thanks. We appreciate you. Just let us know who you are in the comments. Give us a comment so we can give you a shout out right here on the episode live. But we're going to be out of here. Thanks for tuning in, Brandon.
It's always a pleasure, Mark.
Anything? What's been going on since Funnel Hacking Live?
Just trying to recover and get to work. I had to fix a couple things in a couple landing pages to get those out. I had a couple passive sign-ups to my Google Business Profile deals. It's always neat to get those notifications, and it's always neat to get the notification that I've been paid as well. So I'm just trying to get some more people signed up to the accounts so they can start growing their business online.
Yeah, I've been working with a partner, and we are using this linchpin model. So I paid attention and I saw how just a couple of things, some really big takeaways. I know we're going long, but dramatic presentations. I saw Tim Shields go up there and show how he did a live stream from the Grand Canyon. I'm thinking up some ideas, especially for some new some new clients that I picked up since Funnel Hacking Live. We got a great deal. We're gonna do some partner sharing. And on that last day of Funnel Hacking Live, we were networking up until almost I got on the plane. I met a guy that I'd seen online, always asking questions, picking their brains, finding out, okay, what did you do? Okay, and I love when someone tells me, oh, I made this mistake. I want to know, what would you have done differently? What was it that you made a mistake? Would you do it again? And if so, what would you do differently? So I got some good tips, but I'm really excited about this this attractive character flywheel. You're going to see me. I'm going to open up a TikTok account, Brandon. And I really like some of the ability to do some, short form content across all, those platforms. I thought it was laid out. Of all the things, I thought with this linchpin model, it takes Russell's concepts and it puts it more into a system. I think before, people would come and say, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I know the value ladder. I know I need to have this lead magnet, but what does it lead to? I know I need to start an email sequence. I know I need to have people on my email list, but what does it lead to? Before, it was just, he was just teaching, okay, you start off with your soap opera sequence, you get people interested, and then it's a Seinfeld sequence, which is just, random emails. This time, he breaks it down to a newsletter. He talks about a newsletter. I think that's a lot easier for people to grasp than telling them send Seinfeld emails,
Yep.
yeah, or send SOS, a soap opera sequence. I think it's the same, but it gives someone a better understanding of actually the purpose of it. And then he talks about actually hitting that with the continuity. And I like how he talks about the membership area and how to keep people locked in there, paying month after month. I'm working on a brand new model with the linchpin. I bought the domain. I'm excited to announce it out to everyone. I've just been working on it behind the scenes. Well, I say behind the scenes, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know when my posts go out, so I might have made a post, last week, and then it continues to drip out, drip out, drip out. So some people think I'm still online all the time, even when I've not been posting as much, actually. When I'm posting a lot, you'll see me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like Russell in your feed, right? Like Russell's in your feed all the time. But yeah, exciting times. Fourth quarter, it's almost the beginning of the year. We've got October, November, December. We want to end this year strong. Yes, I hope you're out there crushing it. Feel free to reach out to myself through my private Facebook group, or reach out to Brandon. Let us know how we can get in touch with you too, Brandon.
Yeah, you can find me on all the socials at BKXX Enterprises. You should be able to find me there from Twitter through LinkedIn, or you can head over to the site bkxxenterprises.agency and figure out the 3 biggest mistakes you are making in your business. So be surprised on what you're doing wrong. Hate to say it, but probably are.
It has to be said. All right, fam. Thanks for tuning in this week. Appreciate you. See you next time.
Take care.